So as we're getting set up here, I'm just going to take a little bit longer to describe what to expect from this. If you haven't seen Link to the Past Randomizer before, it's basically Link to the Past with all the items shuffled around. We're playing what you would like consider a vanilla way to play Link to the Past, which is open mode, where they have access to the entire light world at the start of the game, but they don't know what order they're going to find these items in. And also, you can mess with them by like deactivating flutes or giving them swords or whatever, which can also mess with the sequencing and the progression. But it is a very popular game to speedrun because it is different every time. And it's really entertaining to watch, especially when you get to interact with it in a crowd control way.
All right, runners are set up and ready to go. The countdown again has started. So the race will begin in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, apologies for delays.
Looks like Alex is off anyway.
I assured Walther readied up. That much I know.
Yeah, Walter just deciding maybe to give Alex a little bit of a head start.
That's so kind of him.
Yeah, very nice of him. And I think that we did roll a new seed. Is that true, Wall Kicks, or is this the same seed?
This should be the same seed.
Ah, I see. Okay.
In the meantime, we have received $20 from Frank, $50 from Rich, and $15 from Waffle Power. We thank you for your donations, and we hope you spend your coins wisely on this crowd control race.
This is just a 100% a power play from Walter right here. Oh, nice kill player sent from CatDev Games.
Chat, congratulations. We have just hit $39,000. Can we get to 40 during this race?
Alex farming some bombs. So if we want a fair game here and we want to hurt Alex a little bit so Walter can catch up, now is a wonderful time to remove some bombs from Alex. I'm going to try to do the same myself right here. I don't know if I can time it correctly.
All right, looks like Walther has actually started, so he'll be good to go. And like Kern said, I think Walter's going to need a little bit of a boost to get him going.
Mission accomplished. Thank you, bomb helpers. Alex is loving it. He's super happy about it.
And meanwhile, Walther is getting bombs, getting rupees. So hopefully Chad will be able to help him out and even this out a little bit.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, Alex. Oh, poor Alex. Oh, he got the bomb off. Okay, he found some bombs.
That was really impressive. I did not think that he was going to get that bomb off. I think that bomb went away as he was picking it up.
Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, he found some bombs, I think, in one of those chests there. They got stolen immediately, and then a kind soul added a bomb. I didn't get to catch who that was, but good play. Well played. He's currently at 5. He's hoping he can get there with the bombs.
I think he'll be fine.
So now we're looking a little bit of parity between these runners, thanks to that kill from CatDev Games and some strategic bomb removal to slow Alex down a little bit. But we do have to remember that Walter hasn't checked the front of escape, those 2 chests there in the secret passage. So he does have a little bit of catch up to do still.
But I suspect over the course of the race, you'll see Walther catching up as well as Nilsson Alex activating his flute. And one of the things I believe you can do in the crowd control with some coinage is you can deactivate the flute.
Yes, that's correct. And it's important to time it correctly. Like deactivating the flute when they're in Kakariko obviously is not going to have a huge effect. They can easily reactivate it. But what do you think would be a good time for that, Wall Kicks?
Easily, it would be probably right after a dungeon. Maybe if after you do complete a Dark World dungeon and you want to flute over to your next location, I think that's probably the best time to deactivate the flute.
Yeah, and it's pretty good to time it too. Or easy to time it rather, because if you do it a little bit early, it's still useful.
And I see DataPlet01 over there deactivating Walther's flute. Unfortunately, he was able to get it off just in time, so wasn't able to stop that one. But Walther does not have his flute active anymore.
Yeah, so now he's going to have to walk down to 6 instead of... Oh, nice early boots. Alex pick up here.
And I believe on Walter's end, we also did see the Cane of Samaria up on Desert Ledge. So that requires either the book or the flute and Titan's Mitts to get to, but it's going to be an item that both of our runners are going to want to get.
Yeah, very useful. Usually required for the completing the seed itself, but also pretty useful in a lot of sequence breaking and speed strats.
So I think you're going to see both runners kind of do the normal route heading to South Shore. For Nilsson Alex, that is his Master Sword. There are 4 swords in the game. They are progressive, so they get stronger as you get them. But as chat points out, or at least as you guys in chat, you can debuff those swords to make them weaker, or you can buff those swords to make them stronger. So it's kind of up to you guys how you want to play it. Although I think Wolfman. I mean, Wolfman, if you had a choice, would you debuff or actually give them stronger swords?
I don't know. I'm not as familiar with these 2 runners as you folks are. What I can confirm is, for those of you at home that wish to cause some chaos, this is a crowd control race, so use !crowd control, and you should be whispered some instructions on how to go for it. And for those that just tuned in, it's basically donate, make sure to put your Twitch name in the box, receive some coins, also include a message and an incentive if you wish, such as the bonus run for Super Mario 64 16 stars. And you choose whether to be kind or cruel. I'm staying neutral on which side of the scale I will be on this time.
Alex getting killed here. Player killed as he's leaving Ice Palace. He had the boots to set up a water walk as well. So it's kind of a long way for him to come back. I mean, he could potentially flute to 8, but he might need to reactivate his flute here.
I'm fairly certain both runners have had their flutes deactivated, so yes, but I think both runners are going to be making several trips to Kakariko over the course of this run to get their flute activated, which is really nice because that just adds time, and that's really what we want to see here. Just add time to these runners, but at the same time, We're raising money for a very good cause as well. So we are seeing Walther set up what Kern mentioned earlier, which is a water walk. It is a minor glitch allowed in this racing format where our runners will be allowed to kind of jumping off a platform or a cliff that you're going to see Walther here do in a moment. Will be able to actually walk on the water without the use of a flippers. Now, if he gets hit at any point, he's going to fall back into the water and act like he has flippers normally, but that's going to be kind of difficult for him. I'd want to do a couple checks and then maybe head over to Zora, which costs 500 rupees. So if you guys are quick, maybe you guys can take away some of those rupees so Walther can actually get the Zora item.
Yeah, especially without flippers, that would be quite a long trek for him to come back here.
We right now have a $30 donation from Super Piccolo. Great to see two awesome guys like Alex and Walther going head-to-head for such a great cause. Good luck to the both of you.
Walter getting 3 bombs for 500 rupees, but you know what? He was out of bombs, so...
I'm certain he'll be out of bombs again fairly soon. One of the things Nilson Alex did about a minute or so ago is he did a map check, which allows our runners to find out if a dungeon is either a pendant or a crystal. As we discussed earlier, the goal of this game is to get all 7 crystals and then climb Ganon's tower to defeat Agate 2. So the map check allowed Nilson Alex to learn, and Walther is doing one right now, that all 3 of our light world dungeons are crystals. So they're going to be required to finish in order to complete the game.
Speaking of light world crystal dungeons, Alex just picking up that bow off of the old man means that there is a crystal dungeon he could go and fully complete right now. Even though he doesn't have a fire source to be able to see in the dark in some of those dark rooms, both Walter and Alex are perfectly comfortable with doing that in the dark. However, this is a crowd control race, so things like ice physics can really, or inverted control, when you're trying to do dark rooms, can really mess you up.
And if you've never seen ice physics, it's really, really fun to play. And it only costs, let's see, if I'm going to scroll down, it only costs 2,000 coins. And for those of you in chat who are wondering, like, maybe, oh, I don't have enough coins to buy this, you can pool your coins. So you can put your coins toward a specific goal, have other people in chat do the same, and eventually that'll, grow to actually reaching the coin goal.
Yeah, crowd-funded crowd control items like that are like really exciting when that number starts to grow and has like an amazing effect right at the perfect time. And oh my goodness, Alex getting a glove here in Tower of Hera. He's on the progression route right now for sure.
Meanwhile, Walther, picking up the cape and the Bombos medallion in the back of Sahashila's hut, and it looks like he's going to actually go into Eastern Palace, which we know is going to be a little unfortunate for him because the bow, which was required to be Eastern Palace, is on the old man, which Nilson Alex already has.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate because it would be super easy for him to like flute there and rescue the old man right now.
Did he activate his flute again? I want to say he did.
I thought I saw him heading towards Kakariko, but I can't say I remember exactly.
I'm sure chat knows full well whether or not he has an active flute or not. We should also make mention of the sprites they're using, because this is Link to the Past, and if you're wondering why you're not seeing Link, there's a good reason for that. So Link to the Past Randomizer has, I think, more than 200 sprites that are available to use, and the 2 runners here are using their favorite sprites. Walther is using Grunkle Stan. I wish I remember what...
Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls, thank you. Meanwhile, Nilson Alex is using CDI Link, and there are a ton of sprites to check out. I think recently they added a ketchup bottle, and that just goes to show you some of the crazy things that can happen.
So to call out a few items here that you can get with crowd control that might not be 100% clear when you first read it. Inverted buttons will invert everything on the right side of the controller, so like the Y, the X, the A button, which is really hard to deal with in some rooms. And then, of course, there's inverted D-pad, but you can also do both for 2,000 coins, inverted buttons and D-pad, if you really want to mess with a runner.
We have a lot of donations coming in right now. We have $50 from an anonymous donor, $50 from Charles Roberts, and we have $100 from Meow that simply says, Meow. Hope you enjoy the coins and hope you get to spend them for a good cause. Hopefully Walther and Nilson Alex won't object too much.
Walter getting a 6 spin speed there. As he heads into the dark room, Alex is going to go to Eastern as well. Of course, Alex can actually finish the dungeon while Walter can't.
I'm a little surprised. Oh, we don't have a Moon Pro, so I was wondering for a second why Nilson Alex wasn't going to the Dark World. But you kind of need a Moon Pro in order to do anything in there. So Nilson Alex is going to go ahead and do Eastern Palace, like you said, is a crystal dungeon. So both runners in the same spot. Unfortunately for Walter, though, he's not going to be able to finish this dungeon, while Nilson Alex will be able to.
Oh, nice quick D-boost there. He did that optimally in only 1.5 hearts. He also got really good direction off of that D-boost, too.
And what Kern is talking about is normally in that room you have to kill all the enemies, and then the anti-fairies, which are surrounding that pot, will leave, and you can actually pick up the pot, hit the switch, and that's when the chest appears. But what Walther did is he took damage, which gave him some invincibility frames, which allowed him to bypass the anti-fairies, pick up the pot, and hit the switch as he's getting hit again. So it saves him a couple extra seconds and is able to kind of give him the chest without needing to go do the intended strat. And you're going to see a lot of that with these runners. These runners are very good at this game.
Yeah, Alex should be doing that same trick here in just about another 1.5 minutes or so if he survives these dark rooms.
We have a $20 donation from Loki Sowilo. Woohoo! Crowd control! Good luck to the runners, and may the odds and chat be ever in your favor.
So it'll be a little interesting to see where Walther goes now. One of the things that Nilson Alex has, aside from the bow that Walther doesn't, is the hammer. I didn't quite see where that was picked up, but it'll be very nice once Walther does get that, and he is able to go up to the mountain and do a lot more there.
There is a pool right now for inverted D-pad, very useful for Alex. Hopefully we can close that gap in time here and get that inverted D-pad on.
Especially in the dark room. So there are 2 dark rooms in Eastern Palace that usually require the lamp. The runners know the dark rooms. That doesn't mean it's easy. This first dark room that Nilson Alex is in right now, most runners learn fairly easily. The second dark room, which is the one that takes you to the boss, is generally much more difficult because there can be some hard-hitting enemies in there that you have to kill. And so we'll see how Nilson Alex handles this without any sort of light source.
I think we got the inverted controls pool satisfied, although it might have been just a little bit late here in applying the effect. So yeah, if it does actually apply for that second dark room, like you're saying, Wallkicks, that's actually much more brutal. Here we go.
Oh, there we go. Good job, crowd.
Alex is loving
its
it.
finest, and we'll see how this goes. I think Walther actually had the same issue because Walther got an inverted buttons and D-pad as he was in the dark room to rescue the old man.
Yeah, he's still under the effect. He's doing really well. Did you just see him slash that dead rock there? He doesn't
really
care about
impressive.
buttons and D-pad. Alex is going. He's not waiting. I would suspect that he would wait for the D-pad timer to wear down, but he's just going for it.
No, you gotta go for it. You're not like, who would wait for this to end? Although he's taking some damage, he's got to be careful.
Oh, so he got stuck. There's a pot at the top of that room. If you're flush against the wall on either the left or right side, then you can't pick up the pot. And it can be really challenging when you get caught by I think they're not called popos, but I always call them popos. When you caught those enemies, those blue and orange enemies.
Yeah, the Popos can be a little bit annoying, but there's also the Igors. Those are the ones that really do the damage and can really cause some issues there. Walther looks like they're going to head over to Tower of Hera. They're going to pick up their glove, but still no hammer, so not going to be able to go to East Death Mountain just yet.
And another inverted D-pad applied to Alex. He gave him some trouble in that cannonball room. He's already down to a heart and a half. But it remembers his safety locations here. Flip that switch a couple of extra times. Good job. Good job, chat.
I can't help notice some of the donations here. We have $10 from Omega Club that says, "Let's go, Alex!" And another $20 donation from Omega Club. "Let's go, Alex! You can do it!" Are there any donations for Walther out there? If you donate, you will get some coins to hopefully help Walther out, or maybe not help him out. I leave that up to you.
I think Walther could use a little love.
Yeah, he's, apart from getting started just a little bit later, he's actually doing fine in comparison to that. It's more to the fact that he went to Eastern Palace without a bow. Although, you know, Alex did kind of die there, but he made it to that dark room so fast that time. He had the key, he didn't have to grab that again. Didn't have trouble with that pot this time, and didn't have inverted controls. All those things help. Heading into Armos Knights, this would be a great moment for an inverted buttons. Anytime that you're on a boss, inverted buttons is just terrible. Or ice physics actually would be great here too.
I would say Walther just got hit with some ice physics as he was getting the 3 chests in the back of escape. No small key though, so he can't go forward. Meanwhile, Nilson Alex on the first boss of the game, Armos Knights. There is a quick kill setup. We're going to see if he does that. It doesn't look like he's going for it, but
I think he's going for the alternative quick kill setup here. That doesn't go top right. Oh my goodness! Oh, the hook shot.
That's an amazing item. It's not in logic. Kern, you want to talk to us a little bit about logic and what that means in a randomizer setting?
Sure, yeah. So every randomizer seed is ensured to be completable. So there's a few checks that it does to ensure that the game is able to be beaten. However, we do sequence break things, and that's what we do in the speedrunning community, right? Like sometimes we use minor glitches or skips. One of those things that you might do is go through a dark room. The game will not expect you to go through a dark room without items that can help you see in them, is a brief answer to that. So in this case, Alex picked up the bow in the dark room by rescuing the old man, which means that because of his lack of any sort of fire source, that hook shot that he just picked up is not currently required to progress in the seed. It doesn't mean it couldn't lead to something, but he does know that hook shot, that there must be some other fire source somewhere to put that into logic. Not to mention that the back of Eastern Palace, he had to go through Dark Room as well. So that's like actually doubly locked by fire sources.
Of course, donations are always a logical thing here. We have $12 from Super Piccolo. My God, that's gotta be Kane! I think that was from the Desert Ledge.
Oh yeah, must have been the Desert Ledge check.
I'm sorry, did someone give Walther silver arrows?
Wow.
The second bow. I'm pretty sure someone gave Walther silver arrows. That's really kind, because silver arrows are by far the strongest weapon in the game.
Yeah, it could save him a lot, like right here. He just saved a lot of time on that ball and chain guard, probably to the tune of like 7 or 8 seconds. And a French vanilla boomerang in the dungeon of escape. He's going to go back into this dark room and find out what's back there too.
French vanilla, meaning that in the regular game, this is actually where you would find the boomerang, but French vanilla means it's in the dungeon, but not quite where it usually is. So if someone refers to something as being French vanilla, that's what they're referencing.
We have $20 from Coop. You can do it. Alex's choice. I presume after this race ends, we can ask Alex where he wants to put this $20 towards. So we'll just have to remember that for after the run.
I gotta shout out Data with a perfect player kill right as Alex was about to open that second chest in the Waterfall Fairy Cave.
I don't think that's going to deter Alex, though, from going right back and getting that chest, but it's just costing him a couple extra seconds here and there, allowing Walther the opportunity to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, watching Alex's face here is like so much fun. Like seeing his reaction to getting killed or inverted controls. Walther is just like calm, cool, and collected though. It's like this is how he always plays the game or something.
So as our runners are progressing, we're looking for, well, Walther is about to realize that he doesn't have the Moon Pearl, and so his journey to the Dark World, I was about to say, we still need a Moon Pearl in order to go into the Dark World, and we're kind of running out of locations. So that was a little bit of an amusing moment right there.
Finally, we got some Walther facial expressions. I think Walter's trolled himself harder than Chad has so far. Got a reaction out of him anyway.
But yeah, but where could our Moon Pearl be? We're kind of looking for it at this point. I don't know what we have left between the two runners that we haven't checked.
Yeah, you might think at this point about Dark World access, like, you could go check the Pyramid Ledge. That's one of the things you can do before you get the Moon Pearl while you're in the Dark World. See if it has the Moon Pearl, but we can't even do that without a fire source to ascend. You specifically need the lamp, logically, to ascend Aghanim's Tower. So there's, like you're saying, there's not many locations. Wait, we haven't done Paradox Cave at all. Like all this right side Death Mountain stuff, right?
No, Nilsson and Alex was here because Alex had the hammer the first time when he was doing Hera. Hera appeared to be locked by a fire source because I know Nilsson and Alex was in there but didn't finish it and then went to right side. So yeah, I'm having trouble thinking what we're missing overall.
We are certainly not missing any donations. We have 2 donations coming in from Princess Neko Cakes, $10 saying crowd control hype, and that was $10, and then $20 saying let's pull together to mess up these runners. Wait a second. Pooling, you may want to explain that again, please.
Yeah, so pooling, if you have coins and you want to work towards an incentive, but either don't want to spend all of them or don't have quite enough to get that item in the crowd control, there is an option when you click on the item to select the pool option and select how many coins you want to donate towards that. It's a really great way when we as a community can sort of crowdfund something. Like inverted controls happened while Alex was in Eastern Palace, and that was crowdfunded. Walther popping off here for an extra little heart, I guess. I mean, he needed bombs, maybe?
He needed bombs. He was down to 1 bomb, so he just kind of wanted to buy some extra bombs to refill his stock. Although I think he's going to find bombs in here and be a little disappointed. Oh, all right. So it turns out silver arrows were just in the front of Escape. So Walther wasn't gifted those silver arrows. He found them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, did we check library? Perhaps we didn't check the library or something. What is left here? I'm very confused.
I'm not sure. We definitely generated a normal seed. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure the runners have some idea.
Oh.
Watching 2 streams at once can be a little difficult, but I'm sure the runners are kind of knowing, okay, I've got this, and this left.
Have we checked bonk rocks?
You know what? I don't think we have.
I think maybe that's the only place we haven't looked, because I can't. I'm not thinking of anything right now. Walther seems to be coming back maybe for the library.
Oh, there's a mushroom. There you go. That's probably our answer right there.
So this has to be, I mean, pretty sure we checked everything else. So this has to lead to something. Probably the moon pearl.
I'd prefer it lead to the lamp.
Oh, goodness. Because that would basically mean you have to go and do Agus Tower now. There it is.
It's just the moon pearl.
Sorry, Wally.
I know. Well, that moon pearl, though, gives Walther Dark World access. Meanwhile, it looks like Mills and Alex was set to buy bombs, but then someone was very kind and actually gave Alex some bombs. So he's going to go be picking up his mushroom right now so he can get his moon pearl.
So Walter just very slightly ahead in the Dark World over Alex, but Alex has completed Eastern. So that'll take probably Walter an additional, I would say maybe minute and a half if he can chain it with completing the Palace of Darkness dungeon. Maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say so far these runners are actually very close to, exactly where they need to be. Poor Alex is just getting his bombs added and subtracted all at the same time.
Yeah, there is a serious bomb war going on. Accidentally Bombos is here.
I think he's upset that he's using all of his bombs, or he's adding and subtracting all of his bombs.
Perhaps a minor tip for those that are donating and redeeming coins, such as the $30 donation from Mercurius59 that says, "Yeet!" If you want to take away bombs, make sure that, if you want to take away 10 bombs, they can only be taken away if the runner has 10 bombs. So if the coins don't process for a few minutes, don't worry, you will get your coins refunded, but just know that you can only take away what the runner actually has.
Yeah, sometimes you got to be a little strategic and maybe remove more bombs than they have, just in case somebody gives them some or they find some. But yeah, that's a really good point. If they're at 0 bombs, the effect won't wait until they get bombs. It'll apply as soon as it's able to process and crowd control.
Walther, meanwhile, now heading to Palace of Darkness. This is another one of our crystal dungeons that is needed to complete the game. 5 items that are available here, but again, because there are dark rooms, hence the name Palace of Darkness, some of these will be out of logic, and there could be some shenanigans to be had for the right price. And all this, of course, going to such a great cause, the Alzheimer's Foundation. So great.
Walter, yeah, some of these dark rooms that he's about to face can be very difficult. In particular, there is one in the very back of this dungeon that he's going to get to in maybe like 2 minutes here that has a maze inside of it that he's not going to be able to see, assuming he does not pick up the lamp here. So like having any effect applied to him in there, whether it's inverted D-pad or ice physics or whatever, would be incredibly difficult for him to deal with.
And another thing about this dungeon is that it does require bombs, and there are a lot of bombs in this dungeon. So for the bomb war that's been seemingly going back and forth with both runners, this is a great time to maybe try to add or take away bombs.
Yeah, and just to shout out the ice physics, looks like that there is a crowd pool happening right now, currently at 786 coins out of 2,000 needed. So I'm going to throw some of my own coins towards this because I want to see this happen. But yeah, help us get there too. We've got like maybe, I don't know, a minute to make this happen. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at Alex's.
I was gonna say, yeah, Walter's already got the ice physics going, and he's gonna have to traverse this room, going really slowly with these ice physics.
We have multiple $10 donations coming in. This includes Humbug, Urania, Brickster, Lorix, Rayless 8. Thank you all, and spend those coins wisely.
inverted D button, and ice physics on Walter's side. Look at how calm he is. Like, this is just a normal day at the office for Walter, apparently.
This is normal Walter in a nutshell. You don't
He's
see
more-
many emotions from him.
Yeah, he's more disappointed he missed that bonk across that gap than he is by the effects applied to him right now.
Looks like, though, he's going to mirror and come at it from the front, which is, you know, a smart thing to do. Although he just mirrored again because he forgot that was on his Y item.
Alex, meanwhile, has inverted buttons and D-pad and ice physics going through this tractor room here. Interesting, the ice physics on the tractor floor means that it does not automatically move him. So in some ways, that might have actually made that room easier.
Interesting. I did not know that was something that happened. I know there is one thing that we haven't seen yet on either runner's side that I think would be really interesting. There is one hit KO for 1 minute. And what that does is if either of our runners, whoever runner that one hit KO on is active for, they touch something that gives damage, it is instant death, which I think would be really interesting for one of these runners in this dungeon, because there is a lot that does damage here.
Yeah, particularly on the walk back to Helmasaur, which presumably both runners are going to try to go for. Although Walter's leaving. Oh, I think he guess he's going to do Armos Knights first before he goes to the back.
That's a little interesting. Maybe trying to psych out the crowd a little bit in an attempt to maybe make the back of pod a little bit easier, but I know chat's not going to fall for it.
I think it might have been a reaction to his inverted buttons and D-pad. Like, he knows he's not going to be able to do those dark rooms right now, so he's going to go do Eastern Palace instead. Alex at 1 heart, so 1-hit KO mode not needed. He is currently in natural 1-hit KO mode.
I want to shout out everyone in chat who's just collecting coins for our runners, whether helping or hurting. You guys are doing such a great job, so please keep it coming, because this is all going to such a great cause.
I have a special announcement. A new prize has been added to the tracker. I believe most everyone here that has requested coins qualifies for it, but a minimum donation of $10 will put you in a pool to potentially win Link's Master Sword as a ball pen with the pedestal included. So if you need an additional incentive to get some coins to cause some problems for Nielsen Alex and Walter IV, there you go.
Get hype.
That's actually a really cool pen. I'm actually kind of jealous. Walther, by the way, was able to get through the Dark Room in Eastern Palace, got down to 1 heart, but pulled through. Meanwhile, Nielsen Alex is on, I believe, so he's in one of the 2 Dark Rooms in pod right here. The easier of the 2, which is just kind of a big U shape. I think he'll be heading towards the Dark Maze now, although with these inverted buttons that just happened, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, check out Alex's stream here. Like, watch him go through the item menu when he needs to item to something. He's like taking extra long to think about it, because you know, you have to like unwire your brain. Although he might not item here. Oh, maybe he'll item to Bombos. Oh, well, he's not inverted control, so the item menu is a bad example. He's accidentally dungeon mapping, though. Yeah, Phoenix down in chat pointing out the pen is mightier than the... Oh. So yeah, if you want to be able to make that joke all the time, make sure you get that $10 donation minimum in.
Plus, it gives you some coins to really mess with our runners here.
We actually have a $10 donation from Eddie. Eddie here, good luck to both of the runners. I hope you like the additional prize I created that's only available during this Zelda block, and we are, of course, referring to that Master Sword ball pen with the pedestal. So we thank you, Eddie, for that. Is Eddie allowed to win the ballpen Master Sword?
That's a good question. Man, Alex made it out of that dark maze there with like hardly any trouble. This would be a great time for one-hit KO mode, or Oko, as we like to call it, on Alex's side. Walter just about to go to the dark maze himself.
Alex, not having any arrows, needs to hit the switch in order to gain access to the area to get where the boss is. So he's going to try the boomerang, although with his inverted D-pad, and I want to say they inverted his buttons as well, it's going to be a little difficult for him.
He figured it out. Look how excited he is. He's like, yeah, nailed it. Alex is so expressive.
Oh, the crowd did it. Nielsen Alex is in Oko for...
And still inverted D-pads.
Oh, baby.
Here's the real boss. He's got to find a way to push this statue with inverted D controls.
I feel like the Oko's going to run out before he gets to the really challenging part of this area.
Yeah, the most challenging is going to be having to kill the 6 turtles in the dark room, just a couple of rooms away. Oh no!
No.
Inverted D-pad and Oko, the perfect combo to take Alex down in that moment. So typically you bait the red mimic off to the side so that when you face up to shoot him, his beam does not kill you, his fireball. But of course, I think his inverted D-pad messed with him there. Got some synchronized death here. Finally getting some facial reactions from Walter. We're getting to him, chat.
We have more folks donating to receive coins and helping out with Alzheimer Fonden. This includes an anonymous $15 donation, $5 from Rayless8, and $15 from Cat with Hat. Folks, if we keep this up, we will hit $40,000 before the end of this run, and I would like to see that happen.
I believe Walter with inverted buttons does not miss a beat here.
I'd like to say, I think Walther ended up coming out on top on this bomb/arrow war, because Nielsen Alex not having a whole lot of arrows. Meanwhile, Walter chilling on 10 bombs, 21 arrows. He's doing just fine.
Yeah, Alex actually really smart there and like cool. He knew he had no arrows, but he killed the green mimics with his sword. Then he picked up the pot to get those 5 arrows. I think he picked up that pot later, just in case those arrows were stolen from him again. Alex taking a break here, psyching himself up for this upcoming dark room.
Yeah, both runners in the dark now, so probably not the most exciting thing to see. And they go, Code Walther, right as he started the dark turtle room. It's just an instant death.
Excellent.
Congratulations, chat.
Excellent timing. So just as a reminder, with the crowd pools here, if you're looking at the options on the menu, you can see the cost in coins right next to the item, but then next to that is the how close we are to some other item. So if you can't afford an item just outright on its own, just take a look at that and see, like, is there anything that's close that could be fun to apply to a runner right now?
Oh.
Well,
go ahead, Wolfman.
This donation by Jags is appropriate. A $10 donation. The crowd giveth, and the crowd taketh away. Good luck to both runners, they'll need it.
Alex now walking towards Helma.
he actually got through. That's really amazing. That is not an easy dark room to go through without a fire source of any kind.
Yeah, he can only take a couple of hits here from Helmasaur, though, so he's got to be really careful. Oko not needed to make this difficult. He does have the advantage of having a tempered sword, so once he gets into phase 2, it'll be rather quick. Uh-oh, but he destroys the helmet a little early. Normally you want to destroy it a little bit later to deep. And he gets his 2 spins. Wow, well played from Alex.
That was so close. And he's thrilled about that. That went really nicely for him. And he gets rewarded with another sword.
Yeah, what happened there is he tried to slash his sword to go for a spin and pulled up the dungeon map, which was actually one of the better things that could have happened because it gave him a moment to breathe and think. But yeah, he just did really well.
So nicely done from Nelson Alex there. Walther, meanwhile, decided to nope out, and we'll come back to Pod later, probably with a lamp or even a fire rod would make that room a lot easier. And is now into Skull Woods. Only 2 items available here, and they could potentially be locked behind that fire rod we just talked about.
I am seeing a number of folks interested in that ballpen master sword. We have $10 from Patty2 Plays, $10 from Floatius, and $50 from Factor 22. Thank you. Alzheimer Fondant appreciates your donations, and I'm sure the runners will eventually.
Yeah, Alex and Walter, I just want to throw this out there, are no strangers to getting funky in the randomizer and playing weird stuff. They both like entrance randomizer, so I gotta imagine that they're enjoying this. These are 2 players who like pain, so yeah, I gotta imagine that this is a win-win-win for them.
I gotta say, it looks like Nilsson's strategy at this point in the randomizer is to just kind of do some dungeon rushing. Walter is being a little more thorough with the overworld checks, and there's the lamp on Walter's side in Bumper Cave. With the cape, he's going to be able to get that, and I'm sure Walter kind of wishes he had that maybe 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, next time he goes back into that basement to head to Helmasaur, he'll have a lot easier of a time. But yeah, it's interesting, like, difference in their strategy here, that Walter is going more kind of overworld. I would say that his route is like fairly traditional, whereas Alex is prioritizing crystal dungeons. So the goal of the game, for folks who might not have seen Link to the Past Randomizer, is to collect all 7 of the crystals, and then ascend Ganon's tower, defeat Agatu, and then finally kill Ganon. So they don't actually have to beat any of the pendant dungeons.
But that doesn't mean we won't go into pendant dungeons. One of our pendant dungeons say are Thieves Town, Ice Palace, and Turtle Rock. So those dungeons have a high density number of items. So it's entirely possible that something we'll be looking for is in one of those dungeons.
Yeah, there's 10 items overall between those 3 pendant dungeons.
Although I will point out, so, we're almost 50 minutes into the seed, and we're, for both of our runners, they're kind of thinking themselves, okay, what items do I need to finish the game? Not every dungeon requires every item, and so for the pendant and crystal layout that we've got going on here, for the runners, we're looking for the Cane of Samaria, which we know where that is. Both runners have seen that on Desert Ledge. We need the Titan's Mitts in order to gain access to Ganon's Tower and Misery Mire, and I think that's about it. There is a medallion issue for Misery Mire, but we'll cross that bridge once we get Titan's Mitts. Meanwhile, Walther, unfortunately, mirroring not when he wanted to, I don't think.
So I believe that means for all of our fans of the pedestal, the Master Sword pedestal, which is a kind of a trolly thing when it's required because it requires you to beat those 3 pendants, which are normally not required. There's not a lot that they would absolutely need to beat the seed that could be on there. I think the only thing is it would have to be specifically the Mire medallion, and that same medallion can't be required for Turtle Rock, I think, is the only thing that can be on the pedestal right now.
You would be correct in that.
Yes.
Congratulations, Kern.
Thank you. Oh.
Wolfman, does Kern get anything, or how about a donation in there?
Well, I can provide 2 quick donations. One from Rayless8 and one from Nanobite, both contributing $20 to Alzheimer Fonden. Spend those coins wisely.
Alex picking up an armor upgrade in the back of Swamp Palace is really useful, especially when he's still only on 7 hearts. That basically doubles his heart value for most purposes.
And it only costs 300 coins to debuff that armor. It lasts for a minute, but could still be put to use.
Yeah, especially when they're on a low health value like this. We're not expecting him to take a lot of damage from Argus in this fight, but yeah, coming up here, perhaps in some other difficult rooms. But yeah, here we go. Another boss fight on Alex's side.
Gold Sword and Silver Arrows, this boss is not going to be too difficult.
You gotta wonder at like how much are Alex and Walter metagaming here. Like if I were them, I might be thinking, I'm gonna try to get through this boss fight as fast as possible. So if somebody's trying to like kill me, their effect won't be applied early enough. Like I wonder if they're thinking about that or they're just trying to play the game like they normally would.
I would think that there's a little bit of aspect of, okay, I need to make sure I do this as fast as possible. Luckily with the Gold Sword and even Silver Arrows, this dungeon is really easy.
We have a $50 donation from Little Greek. Crowd control for a good cause, and with that donation, we are currently at $2,700 out of the 10,000 we need for Super Mario 64 16 stars by Simply.
What's the deadline to reach that incentive, Wolfman?
To my knowledge, that incentive has to be met by the time the Super Mario 64 Randomizer 70-star run ends. And we still have a little bit of time for that, I believe.
That's a really nice run to see. Super Mario 64 speedrunning in any format is incredible.
Alex coming back in for the left side of Swamp Palace.
Unfortunately, he's not showing off one of the more recently discovered techs known as Diver Down. He's just kind of doing it the normal way. Diver Down allows you to kind of make left side a little bit easier, although with doing the back first as he did, kind of makes doing Diver Down not necessarily viable. We'll see if Walther does it. There is a setup using just bombs, so it'll be interesting to see if Walther tries to pull it off.
We have a $50 donation from Hydrogen99 that simply says, needed crowd control coins, :D.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's 5,000 coins, so he definitely got them.
Looks like Walter is going to go left side first, so we might see this new tech called Diver Down. Diver Down is a new way that has recently been discovered by perennial glitch hunter Yuzuhara, I believe, was the original founder of it, although it's been modified and extended upon by a lot of people. But it allows you to clip into a rail down here, which then allows you to hop into the water without touching the 1 or 2 tiles right in front of the stair, which normally changes you into a swimming mode, and instead allows you to stand on the water. Using this method, you can save yourself an extra trip around these few rooms here. And he's doing it now to grab the key, which he has flooded in the next room.
gets it first try. One of the things he also did during the setup was that he planted a bomb next to that switch and then left the room as the bomb was detonating. That set it to where when he re-entered the room, the switch actually activated, so he didn't need to re-hit that switch in order to get both chests over here on left side.
Oh my goodness. Alex has defeated 2 5/6 crystals already. So he's getting a Pyramid Fairy check, and I'm just now catching up here. Alex has done 3 crystal dungeons. Walter has completed 1. I mean, he is in his second currently.
Yeah, Nilson Alex really powered through the pod dark room, overcoming the chance attempts to Oko him, and was able to clear out pod. So that's where his lead is slight, and he's getting the 3rd shield. I'm a little surprised that Nilson Alex went to go pick up the mirror shield.
You know, he's shaking his head hard. I'm not sure why he's shaking his head at the shield.
It could just be a thing, but you know all about lag and cutting down on lag, so you know that shield a lot of runners don't like to pick up because it actually increases lag ever so slightly.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal. It's usually not worth like avoiding picking it up or whatever. But yeah, it is something that runners like to do, is avoid picking it up. Yeah, in fact, you might see some tech here related to that. Oh, Walter going for another diver down, misses it this time. Misses it that time.
Gets the second try, no problem though. And I believe right now both runners are just kind of retracing each other's steps. So, Wolfman, if you have any donations, you have time right now.
You got it. We have a $10 donation from Loki Sowilo, supporting the Alex Bomb and Arrow Fund. I don't know if this is the fund to give or take bombs and arrows, but Loki, I leave that choice up to you.
So we're kind of running out of locations to check here. Eventually, both runners are going to be incentivized to go inside maybe our first pennant dungeon, which would be Thieves Town.
Imagine a French vanilla Titansmith. So Thieves Town is usually where we get our Titansmiths, which allows us to progress to later dungeons. And usually in a randomizer, you kind of don't like to see items that you would get in the dungeon normally be in their dungeon. So it's always a little obnoxious. But Walther, meanwhile, showing how strong silver arrows can be. That was a quick Argus fight.
Yeah, really nice setup for him there on the fast kill in that second phase.
For those that need a reminder as to why we are raising all of this money, we are raising it for Alzheimerfonden. Alzheimerfonden is the Swedish national fundraising organization focusing on Alzheimer's disease and other dementia-related diseases. Alzheimerfonden organizes projects, camps, and events for youngsters affected in different ways due to parents or other relatives diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So, every little bit helps, whether you donate now, whether you donated previously, or whether you donate for the finale tomorrow. Every little bit helps, and we thank you for it.
I will say we are closing in on $40,000. I'm hoping we get it this run. That would be amazing, and I'm sure chat would love to just add a little bit more either help or misery to both of our runners. Walther now going to do the dig game. There is an item somewhere hidden. You have to dig it up. You're guaranteed to get it as long as you're able to dig at least 30 times. It's in one of those first 30 digs. I don't know how many digs that was. I think that might have been like 17.
It was, yeah, definitely, definitely 17.
Totally 17 digs.
Looks like Walter is going to go back for that Helmosaur kill, as Alex is going to go into Skullwood. So yeah, just playing a little bit of catch up with each other still. But coming up on some fun ways to mess with them, of course. Walter heading towards a boss is always an exciting time, especially these rooms, which won't be dark, but they still are difficult. And then Alex is going to probably be heading into Thieves Town here any second now, so they should both be in dungeons.
Thieves Town is always an interesting one to kind of mess with our runners because there's you get the weird perspective, especially at the beginning of Thieves Town, where part of the room is kind of up a floor, the other is below it, and you kind of can sometimes not see where these enemies are. So, really good opportunity to maybe do ice physics or invert controls, maybe even just Oko.
Yeah, Oko would be pretty hard to deal with in Thieves Town. Oko, of course, referring to one-hit KO mode.
It would be even better if it were on something like Blind, which is the boss of Thieves Town.
Oh, yeah. There is a script that if you follow the script, Blind will do the same thing, but it is not uncommon, even when you get the script, to still take a hit. You are punished a lot more by a death at the top of Thieves Town than you are on the boss, however. It's pretty fast to get back to the boss, but if you're like deep into the back of Thieves Town, you have to redo pretty much that whole part of the dungeon. So timing could be critical if we're trying to go for something like ice physics or one-hit KO on Alex in Thieves Town. Walter, though, entering these dark rooms with an inverted D-pad, but you wouldn't know it. Just like watch him move. It's just like he's practiced this or something.
Nice little strat by Alex there, using the hookshot to kind of go through the spike. Saves a little bit of time if you're able to get it first try, but I think Alex was just doing it for a little bit of swag right there.
Speaking of, we have a $5 donation from Rikuato that says, "Good luck, Alex."
I think I'm allowed to say good luck, Alex. Good luck, Alex. Good luck, Walter.
You cannot be biased.
That's why I said good luck to both of them.
But you said good luck to one first, though.
Okay, hold on. Good luck, Walter. Good luck, Nilsson, Alex. All right, I think we rectified that.
Yeah, we did. Oh my goodness, Walter making it through that fight with excellent luck. But yeah, I mean, you know what? I gotta say that Walter's probably done some significant practice with inverted D-pad, because that was really impressive. Just that whole basement section.
Was that a green 20 on Nilsson Alex's side?
Yeah, it's like the second one I think we've seen so far, because people have been like sending them things like additional swords and stuff. If they were to pick up that item where it should have been in the seed, then they will instead get a green 20 rupee. Oh.
Way to go, chat. You inverted the buttons and D-pad, and you're giving him ice physics.
Oh my goodness.
Here in Thieves Town. Nicely done.
Oh man, yeah, so he tried to dash there and ended up mirroring back to the front. A little bit dangerous to have mirror as your Y item in a crowd control race. And he gets bunny beamed here. Oh, the bunny beam actually looks like it's counteracting the ice physics. That's interesting. Trying to throw a pot accidentally opens up the dungeon map.
It definitely looks like Walther is, as you mentioned, kind of practiced some of the things that can happen in a crowd control. Nilsson Alex looks like he's having a little more difficulty with some of these things, but shout outs to both of these runners who are getting through this very admirably, honestly.
And check out Walter returning the super bomb. So you can't dash with the super bomb, otherwise you leave it behind. But you can see he's hook-shotting into things, and in a small window when the bomb is catching up to you, you can perform a dash. There's lots of like really small movement techniques that these runners are doing that we just frankly don't have the time to call out every single one. But it is really cool to see nonetheless. Okay, if we're interested in a one-hit KO on Alex, we're currently at 210 coins of 2,800 needed. So some distance to go, but you know what? I'm going to throw out quite a few coins in that direction. So if anybody wants to help me with this pool, now would be a great time to get it going.
I think I can help out with that a little bit.
Perhaps some of these donations that have come in will also help out. We have $10 from Omega Club, $10 from Tosh, and $10 from someone who apparently does not want to get on either Alex's or Walther's bad side. Don't worry, we will not reveal your name. Spend the coins wisely.
That was totally you, wasn't it, Wally?
I claim nothing here.
Currently at 1,360 out of 2,800 needed to activate one-hit KO for Nilsson here. Can we get there? Just 640 coins left for one-hit KO on Alex.
This will be fun. I wonder, like, he does have the Cane of Burner, which does provide some invincibility, but hopefully he doesn't go to it. Because I like to see a little bit of chaos from time to time.
Oh, I think we've reached it. I think we've reached it, chat. If it applies, it just applied. There's the look of surprise.
The eyes right there. It was fantastic.
He's taking the safe way. Normally he would dash through those barries, but deciding to take the safe way to not risk the hit. Because dying here while the mating is following him is the absolute worst time, even worse than dying on blind. Taking it safe, deciding to walk through that room rather than dash, because dashing can sometimes get you hit by that red Stalfos. Pulling out the cape, he has the cape.
He's playing this smart. Except he's not wearing it.
I think he's trying to save it for phase 3, because he doesn't have that. What?
Oh, someone just straight up killed Nelson Alex.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I see you're trying to use the cape. I was like, wait, does the cape not work with Oko? Wow, good job.
I thought maybe they like inverted his buttons or something, but no, that was just that was just a straight up death.
Oh, inverted buttons. That would be hilarious when he's trying to use cape and then he accidentally turns it off and tries to slash his sword.
Exactly. And I'm wondering, because I've noticed some of the people are trying to give him fairies. Does he maybe have something in his bottle that's preventing him from getting a fairy?
That could very well be. Yeah, if he's got like a potion in or something, then that might not apply the effect. Oh my goodness. Alex, look at these dodges. Oh my goodness.
I think the Oko ran out at the end. That was really close.
That was insanity. And gets a reward of half magic. That is quite useful in a crowd control setting. Yeah, that blind fight. So if you return the maiden, you can do the same thing every time and blind will act the same way. However, it's really difficult or maybe even like basically impossible to do a scripted blind fight if you've died to blind and have to re-enter, because he starts at a different side of the room and his timing is off. So he had to just like, you know, actually dodge there, not based off of memorized timings, which made that all the more impressive.
And we talked about giving Oko to Alex for blind fight. We should maybe try to do the same for Walther here.
Yeah, in fairness, I suppose. Yeah, actually, the kill player is at a much higher collected pool. We're currently sitting at 1,011 out of 4,000. So I'm gonna contribute. I'm gonna contribute for that for sure. See if we can't get there for Walther.
As you just got to make sure it goes to Walther.
Yeah, make sure you click on the character at the top. It's on the W icon. That's Walther. Currently at 3,011 out of 4,000. Help us out, chat.
As we are approaching the second boss fight against Blind, as much as I have been enjoying my time here, unfortunately, it is about over. But don't you worry, folks. Nordic Soy is going to keep you company for the rest of this crowd control race. So, thank you all for having me here at ESA Summer Online. Keep on grooving all, stay safe, and let's continue to raise money for Alzheimer Fonden.
And thank you so much, Wolfman, for all that you do. It's been a pleasure working with you so far this marathon, and I look forward to the future.
Oh, Walther had a fairy! Oh my goodness. Yes, and thank you, Wolfman.
Walther was pretty smart picking up that fairy. He knew. He knew.
We tried, chat. We did our best.
So I think it was, what, about 45 minutes ago that we were like, where is this Moon Pearl? We now have basically a similar question with, where are these Titans mids? I feel like our runners have done almost everything.
Yeah, you can see that look on Alex right now. He's like scratching his head. Where do I go to? What's next? He's done a pennant dungeon. He's full cleared all the dungeons he can. I think there's probably just a couple of isolated locations left for them to pick off.
Such as Spike Cave, which is where it looks like both runners are headed to now. Although they can clear Tower of Hera with that fire source now.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say. In fact, I think that's the last thing. But no, I think you're right. It's Tower of Hera and this, I think, is the only things. It's the only things I can think of.
Yeah, I believe so. And I wonder if Walther or Nils and Alex are going to try another, I don't want to say recently discovered tech, because I think this one came a little bit before Diver Down, but the Hera pot with the hook shot, I think we're going to see it on Walther's end for sure.
Yeah, so there's some relevant debuffs here if they're going to go into Spike Cave. Debuffing magic could be nice to prevent them from going. Alex already doing it, so Walter's going to be doing Hera first. Looks like he's going for the Hera pot glitch.
And he gets it. Nicely done.
So similar to Diver Down, that works based off of by clipping into an object, then he can get into the drop down section. So normally you're supposed to get into that pot by dropping down from the very top of the dungeon, and this warp tile actually returns you to where you would have dropped down. So this is a easy way to just kind of skip several floors of this dungeon. But also skip the requirement to go to the basement, which requires you to do the tile room, involving waiting for tiles to fly out your face for about 60 seconds or so.
And you could be potentially leaving an item. I know that was the map that we just saw. And obviously, the big key is where it is normally in the basement. So there could be an item in the big chest. It'll kind of depend on what Moldorm here drops.
Yeah, I gotta imagine that's part of Alex's thinking, is like, if I go to Spike Cave first, and I don't get the progression here, then I know I have to go to Talon Room. Whereas Walther now has to make a decision. Do I go back down to Talon Room, which takes a long time, or do I just gamble that the progression is in Spike Cave?
Walther, that was the compass, so there is guaranteed to be that item in the big chest, because the first item we got here was actually the glove that we got probably 50 minutes ago. So guarantee that second item is in that chest.
Yeah, most likely this is going to be the Titan's Mitts because it's what unlocks the most locations, but could still be the Fire Rod, I suppose. I think that's maybe about it.
Fire Rod.
You want it to be the Fire Rod?
We don't want it to be the Fire Rod. Although, since Walther is now taking a little bit of a break, I'm sure we've got time for some donations, Nordic Soy. So if you got anything, let us know.
Absolutely. We'll start it off with 3 separate $5 donations by Rayless8. Thank you very much. I see that you're having fun with your points as we move forward. We've got $50 from Beard of Odin, and we've got $20 from Percy, or Purse, that says, "Love you, Alex. Thanks, CSA, for putting on a great marathon."
Alex with another 5 crystal dungeons down for Alex. Now the other 2 that he has to complete require the Titan's Mitts to... Well, wait, 2? 1. The other one requires the Fire Rod. So he can no longer do any more crystal dungeons for advancement. Wait, what happened there with Walter?
I want to say he maybe accidentally mirrored. I honestly don't know.
Oh, that's brutal to go through that entire tile room.
Well, he got the big key.
He got the big key, right. It wasn't an accidental mirror. He got the big key so he can return to the big chest.
Oh, okay.
So this Harapot that Walter's trying to do here is kind of difficult, and also it is possible to soft lock your game if you fail it.
Oh, that would be not good.
Yeah, that would be very not good. And yeah, as predicted, there's the Titan's Mitts. So this will give them access to that Canis Mario that we saw very early on in the game sitting on the desert ledge. This would be a great time to deactivate Walt's flute. Looks like he's going to go check Dark World Death Mountain, but what he wants to do is flute to the mire area after this. But deactivating his flute would prevent him from doing that.
Definitely same for Nilsson Alex over here, because as you mentioned, that is our access to Canis Mario. So if you want to make him walk a little bit more, like you said, definitely deactivate the flute.
Yeah, we're currently sitting at 600 coins out of 1,100 needed for our crowdfund option. Oh, looks like it went through already. Wow. Went through faster than I could even say it.
Good job, chat. Did get a look at the medallion required to actually enter Turtle Rock, which is a pendant dungeon. It is Quake, which is something we don't have. So until we pick that up, dipping a pendant Turtle Rock is not something that is on either runner's minds.
Yeah, unless we don't have the medallion that we need to get inside Misery Mire, there's no reason for them to go into Turtle Rock. Alex getting the good news that he has his mitts finally, but in the very last place he checked, so he's not feeling good about that from a race perspective. So I think actually that flute deactivation was somebody who just bought it outright for 1,100 coins. So we still have a crowd option at 728 out of 1,100 so far. So deactivating the flute like right after he activates it would be a hilarious thing to do. But we'd have to time it really well, and considering this would be crowdfunded, it would be kind of hard to time it.
I believe in chat for sure.
Yeah. We just can't go too early, otherwise we're deactivating an already deactivated flute.
Was that Nilsson checking to see if his flute was still active?
In the cave?
Yeah, he was definitely playing his flute.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think you could check it because it would still make the noise.
You're right. I'm not sure. That's true.
Okay, here we go. Here we go, chat. If we want to time it, we got to get it in now. We're still at 728. Oh, it says successfully funded on the screen. Let's see if it'll deactivate before he can use it. He might get to flute once, but that's still good. He has to come all the way back here. I mean, if it deactivates now, that's actually bad because then he gets to reactivate again. So hopefully it deactivates right after he flutes away.
I also like to point out that because he had already activated the flute once, that the bird wasn't actually there, and so you get the little bit of a graphical glitch. But it was cool.
It looks like it was a success. He did flute away. I haven't seen the crowd control notification pop up yet, so it should be deactivating any second now.
So Walther did check and learn that Misery Mire is in fact Bombos, which we have. So at this point, we are only looking for the Fire Rod, and then we will have everything we need to complete the game.
Alex on the ice physics heading to reactivate his flute. It makes it a slow walk. Whoever did ice physics, that's some galaxy brain stuff right there. It looks like maybe it was crowdfunded. Yeah, the crowd.
Definitely crowdfunded.
Excellent galaxy brain because it makes dashing a bit more difficult to do. Like it's slower.
Chat's asking what Walther did to push those blocks. There's a little bit of a glitch that you can do using the mirror, and that is if you're pushing a block while using the mirror at the same time, it'll actually just delete the block. And so, you know, it saves a minuscule amount of time, and you don't want to do it in a dungeon because trying to do it in a dungeon just teleports you back to the front of the dungeon.
Yeah, we use that with a few different items. We do like block clippy stuff with hookshot sometimes, with Fire Rod as well, and Misery Mire. And this is a good time maybe to mention that we are racing under a kind of standard rule set for the randomizer, which is basically no major glitches. So there are categories of glitches and sequence breaks that we are explicitly allowed to use and that we are not allowed to use. So everything that you see here is like considered fair and legal by the community.
And we're getting some nice inverted buttons and D-pad for Nilsson Alex. I think, you know, I think it's time we mess with Walther a little bit. He's starting to, I want to say, pick up a little bit of a lead. They're both still very close, don't get me wrong, but I think if you want to keep this race close, I think it's time to maybe start messing with Walther a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair... Oh, actually, they're even on crystals. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, I've got a few people who are donating to make sure they've got the points to mess with our players as much as they can. We've got another $10 from Omega Club, and we've got $50 from KNAA, K-N-A-A. So thank you both very much for your generosity, and enjoy your points.
Look at this look of pure joy on Alex's face whenever he gets inverted buttons in D-pad.
You call it pure joy. I call it he is smiling through the pain.
I'm honestly the thing I'm most impressed about is that Alex has decided to stay on the mirror here as his Y item with inverted buttons.
Well, he knew he was going to use it. Walther, meanwhile, taking down Lanmo with just the 3 silver arrows, 1, 2, 3, super quick fight. And again, you're seeing just how powerful the silver arrows can be. They can one-shot a lot of bosses. Kern, where do you think? Oh, there's nothing else with here. Kern, where do you think the Fire Rod is going to be?
Oh man, with those mitts open, there's now kind of a bit of overworld to check. I'm kind of hoping that it's in Ice Palace, so we get to see more Pendant Dungeon in gameplay.
I like that. I'm kind of thinking it's actually going to be on Smith Sequence. If only because I think both runners are going to probably isolate Smith Sequence for a while.
Yeah, with some dungeons to do. What did Walter just do?
I don't know.
I think he tried to dash turn, but he ended up dashing into the pit instead. Again, Walter trolling himself harder than Chad ever has. And of course, we're giving these runners a hard time out of pure love. These are good friends. So I hope that that's understood, the spirit that this hard time is given in. I'm sure they would do the same to us.
I'm pretty sure they have in the past.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We don't even have to hypothesize. So this is a very difficult... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I thought maybe Walther was gonna actually go straight to the boss here, Mizermeyer, to get the early big key. Instead of gonna check this item first and maybe then go to the boss.
Oh, you know what? He might be worried about his bomb count.
Oh, that's true. He needs a bomb.
Yeah, he needs a bomb to flip a switch on the way to the boss. Currently, he's sitting at 0, so I think he's trying to farm for some right here. If you want to help him out, or just give him some false confidence, maybe add a bomb so somebody can remove it later. But this is a great time for a bomb war on Walter's side.
Or he can just take away some of Alex's bombs. Current, how many bombs does Alex have?
41? Oh my goodness.
Where did he get those bombs?
Looks like he's counting them right now. Ah, Walter's got 2. He's going for it. Is he going to keep them for long enough to be able to use them? Ordinarily, he might be able to skip this bomb requirement by doing a relatively new glitch that we call spooky action at a distance that would allow him to shoot a fire rod off screen, essentially, onto the switch without having to bomb open the wall and slash it himself. But they don't have the fire rod, so they actually need a bomb here. The bomb wars continue. He's seen that his bombs have been removed.
Good job, chat. Keep it going. And I'm sure with this bomb war going on, Nordic Sword, there's probably some donations that we're seeing.
We do. We've got one more here from our very own Dance Dad. Thank you so much, Wolfman. We've got $10. It says, Dance Dad wishes to spend coins at least once. Keep on grooving all, and stay safe.
Look at that. Look at that face on Walter's side. So sorry to interrupt here with the donation, but yeah, that was like perfect timing, chat, and he just gave you a thanks. I'm sorry, did you have more donations, Nordic?
No, it's all good.
Is it wrong of me that I want all the donations to come in just because I want to hear Nordic's voice more?
I know, right?
Well, chat, you can make that happen.
Thank you.
Walter's celebrating his infinite bombs there. All right, we got to remove 39 bombs from Alex, everybody. It's only 40 coins per bomb removal. I'll get us started.
I was like, Walther, meanwhile, was able to navigate the ice physics, and I want to say, I don't know, that might have been just the ice physics, to take down Vitrius. The silver arrow is being put to really good use, again, in these fights. So that is crystal number 6 for Walther. Just looking for that fire rod.
Oh, he's got 8 still. He's got to make it to the next room. Oh, he's up to 10. Oh, the clutch add bomb during the remove bomb. Wow, we've got some major Alex fans.
I was going to say, Alex has some big fans because he quickly went from 8 to 21 bombs. So nicely done for those of you who are rooting for Alex here. Walther, meanwhile, trying to get the second, looking for the second item, hoping for the fire rod. He's played this very nicely, and I do believe he still has 2 fairies at his disposal, so attempts to kill Walther at this point is going to be just kind of getting rid of those fairies.
Well, we've got 2 more donations that are earning up points, be them for good or for evil intent. We've got $25 from Nanohertz. Thank you very much. And we've got another $5 from Rayless8.
Oh my goodness, Walter finding 3 bombs in that chest he skipped before.
That's Rando in a nutshell. Giving you the item you need after you needed it.
All right, where does Walter go from here? He's kind of caught up a bit.
I mean, I would argue that he's got a little bit of a lead at this point.
Yeah.
And I think Ice Palace, like you said, is going to be his play.
Yeah, so all we're looking for now is the Fire Rod, and we have confirmed that there is no reason whatsoever we will need to go inside of Pendant Turtle Rock.
Yeah. I mean, a fire rod inside Turtle Rock isn't unheard of.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
We do have the Quake Medallion, so that would be really probably the trolliest location.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for both of them to decide to go up there. But as predicted, Walter is going into Ice Palace before that Smith chain that you talked about, Wall Kicks.
It makes sense, because I think we're probably going to see another recently discovered tech known as Icebreaker, and that really makes this dungeon very quick.
Unless, of course, you have inverted D-pad.
You know, that would be a really good time to hit inverted D-pad.
Yeah, Icebreaker is a little bit technical on the D-pad. Requires some tight timing and one-frame inputs. Although the one-frame inputs are not D-pad related, but still.
I mean, if you're not sure which, when you got to hit, it can be a little obnoxious.
Yeah, that's true. So we're going to see Walter execute this glitch here. This is a new glitch that is based off of a mechanic that we call door state, that sometimes allows you to go through objects, such as that, when you are in the same state you're in when you're walking through a doorway.
And I think we've mentioned earlier, these are like all the tricks that you're seeing are all things that are deemed legal in race settings such as this. So no, our runners aren't doing anything you wouldn't normally see in regular races.
Yeah, in fact, in the randomizer, this addition of this glitch is actually quite nice because ordinarily it's very hard to optimally route your way around Ice Palace through the dungeon. But with the addition of this glitch, it makes it really straightforward and much faster than it normally is.
All right, we're seeing some divergence. It looks like Nilson Alex is actually going to check the Smith sequence before making the Ice Palace play. So this could be big for Nilson Alex.
Yeah, if that Fire Rod is where you predict it is, then I think this would give Alex a huge lead. Walter, though, did find the magic powder in Ice Palace, which is a fetch quest. He can turn that into the magic bat to see if he gets any progression there. Oh, wall kicks.
I may have played this game a few times, and I may, hopefully know that sometimes you just got to do a Smith sequence.
Wall kicks with the Galaxy Brain comm calls. So yeah, Alex is going to finish the Smith. It's interesting to see. I wonder what he's hoping to get here.
I think you just have to turn in the Smith,
Oh, right. You can't, walk into dungeons and stuff with him following you.
This isn't entrance mode, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, now for those of you who are rooting for Walther, it's time to start hitting Alex because Alex is in go mode while Walther still needs to go get that fire rod.
Yeah, Walter's doing pretty good on help. I think he still has a fairy in a bottle. So you know what they say, at best, the best defense is a good offense. So
And I do want to shout out, we are so close to $40,000, and it would be really cool to hit that on during this run.
Well, you know, we do have more donations coming in. We've got more people trying to get some points up here, so we can extend this run a little bit longer if we need to. For instance, we've got, let's see here, $20 from Marknificent, who says, love watching my friends Walther and Alex run. Kern and Wally, come for a great cause. Thank you so much, Marknificent. We've got $5 from Wyrip, who says he just wants to hear Nordic Soy's voice for a little bit more. Well, you're in luck. I'm here, and I'm going to be on until about 2 in the morning tonight. So stick around. I'll be here for quite a bit longer. But if you want to hear more donations being read, get those donations in. As we said, we're just about to the 40K mark, and there is still a lot more randomizer here to go. So earn those points, get in for that Link's Master Sword ballpoint pen with pedestal. Again, that's a $10 minimum donation during this and the next few runs. And yeah, back to you guys.
Alex now entering Mothula. We're just like 25 points away in the pool to killing him. Can we get there?
Yes.
Oh, we did it!
The answer is yes. Congratulations.
That is a little bit brutal. If he didn't have half magic... Oh, a nice ice physics. He does get a retry here, but with ice physics and only 6 hearts, and now only half of his half magic bar.
Ice physics are going to really be a problem here in these first couple rooms leading up to Mothula.
Yeah, everybody's like hitting him with just the right effect at just the right time. This is the most fun I think I've ever had watching the randomizer.
Meanwhile, that is go mode as well for Walther, so we definitely have a race. Don't be afraid to, attempt to kill Walther or give him some things to try to mess with him a little bit.
All right, as we saw before, Alex gets Bunny Beam, but that's actually a little bit of a help here because it turns off the ice physics. And a fairy from Factor 22. Huge heal here. Ice physics on a tractor floor.
Another kill player! Oh my goodness.
You got to wonder if Alex thinks that means that he's ahead, because this often happens in crowd control. Obviously, when the race gets close to being done, players get bullied when they're ahead to try to even it up, which also we should absolutely be doing. And maybe I shouldn't even use the word bully, because you can see on Alex's face he's loving it, and this is all for a very good cause.
Now, speaking of a good cause, I've got 2 more donations here. We've got $20 from a Dear Heart saying ESA for Alzheimer's Foundation. As an admirer of the great Terry Pratchett, he would condone me if I wouldn't spend for the research and finding of a remedy for this disease. The turtle moves. And then we also have $12 from Bob. Bob is helping by not helping. So thank you both very much.
The gold B strats on Mothula. Now, this is a way that he can get some easy damage in, but also it makes him move quite erratically. I think he also took out the gold B in part so he could have it filled with that fairy. So that was a really interesting play from him.
And Walther getting wall mastered. So the ice physics are working well for both runners here.
Now he's down to 3 hearts, less than half of his half magic bar.
I gotta say, ice physics in the back of Skull Woods working a lot better than I was hoping for.
Yeah, anything that relies like critically on timing, like dodging wall masters or lighting torches with good timing, is a great time to hit him with ice physics. That was a really nice tech adjustment. Just stand still and hold a sword spin.
Also, I know this isn't official, that we try to play this game, but with 7 crystals, Nilson Alex is going up to Ganon's tower. Usually the chat likes to play a game where they try to guess which of the chests in Ganon's tower the Ganon Tower big key is going to be. It's basically picking a number between 1 through 22. Although, Kern, I believe you've won with the 24.
Yeah, I mean, we have usually we have a bot running that records people's answers, and I happen to be talking about the Ganon fight and accidentally, submitted a guess of 24, and it did end up winning. So it's whoever's closest, Price is Right style. What are you gonna guess, Wally?
Oh, we're gonna go 17. I think it's gonna be a late big key.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, but Walther has the fairies. That's right.
That look of relief.
I don't know. That doesn't look like relief. That looks like, oh god, the room is a little messed up.
I think he was worried he might fall into a pit or something at the end there.
Kern, where do you think this big key is going to be? I admittedly didn't ask.
I'm going to go with 24.
Naturally. Nordic, do you have a guess? Maybe a donation?
I tend to go with 7 whenever I've got a guess on one of these. Good old lucky number 7. And yeah, we've got a few donations here. Rayless8 donates another $5. He's having fun tonight with all of the points that he's been earning. We've got $30 from It's Me, Hawkeye G, saying happy to help to support a good cause. Not to mention enjoying all the great runs of this event. So thank you both very much. You know what? We've got one more here. We've got another $40 from Omega Club. So thank you very much as well.
Alex here just snubbed his nose at the Hope chest and is going to grab the Tile Room chest first. Wallkicks and I happen to know that there's a gentleman's agreement between the runners to get the Tile chest first. So if you really want to mess with Alex, kill him before you can open that chest. So he has to do the Tile Room again.
And yeah, if you guys are still holding on to coins, we are quickly approaching the end of this. And so if you got coins, use them now. Ganon's Tower likes to be brutal.
Hey, speaking of coins, it looks like Rich donates $50 to get himself a nice big stash of coins. And with that donation, we have crossed the $40,000 mark, everybody. Thank you so much for your absolute generosity throughout this entire marathon. Let's keep that momentum going, shall we?
That is an exciting milestone and super cool that it happened during this crazy crowd control rando race.
I would clap, but I'm holding my controller for push to talk, and I don't want to hit my controller. But yeah, that is incredible that we hit 40,000. Thank you, chat, and thank you to everyone who's been putting this together.
So I believe we've checked 8 chests now.
Yep, that would be 8, because of course we did Tile Room first.
Yeah. Yes, I can count.
Good job, Kern.
Thank you. I've been nailing it this run, Wallkicks.
You've been doing great. I've been, I don't know, I think I'm getting a failing grade for this.
I think you've been counting well too. We've both been counting well.
Aw, thanks.
All right, Walter now, if he upholds his agreement, this could be the greatest betrayal in anime history if Walter decides not to grab the towel room.
Top 10 anime betrayals, let's go. Seems like someone's giving Nilson Alex some hearts. Someone's enjoying Nilson play a little bit more. Looks like Walt will be upholding his end of the bargain and doing Tile Room first.
What a gentleman. That was Alex's 10th chest for folks who are counting. So this will be chests 11 through 14. This would be a terrible... Oh, one-hit KO. I was going to say, this would be a terrible time for Alex to die while he's this deep. If he doesn't get the big key here, one-hit KO is really brutal for him.
Take it a little more slowly, because we do have Ice Armos coming up.
It looks like Walter's deciding to go a similar way as Alex. There are basically 2 ways you might go in this dungeon, and then lots of variations in between. But basically, the basement is split into 2 different pathways that you can get down to this basement section that Alex is currently in. You can either go right or left. Both runners are selecting to go left first after that. Gentleman's agreement tile room.
Nelson's got to play it safe. He did not pick up the powder that Walther has, so at risk of getting hit right here.
Yeah. Energy beams, the anti-fairies, and now he's on Ice Armos. Ordinarily, you don't get hit, but you can see he's playing a little bit extra cautious here. Oh, no.
Oh, the Oko ran out at the last second.
The timing saves again. Alex has been super helped by the timer on those effects. That was almost incredibly brutal, because he would have totally skipped those 3 chests.
I agreed. He would have gone right side, which I believe that was 18. So we're on to 19, 20, 21, and 22. So it's a right. A right side play would have helped.
That would have been just the help that Walter needed to gain a little bit of time. But this is one of the most intense periods of a crowd control race, actually of any speedrun, is the ascension up Ganon's Tower. Now, a lot of the time when we're speedrunning this game, we're not super concerned about our health. So we usually have enough safety that we're not like sweating it. But in this case, anything can happen, any effect can occur. And if you die at any point in this tower climb, you have to redo the entire climb. You go right back to the beginning of the dungeon, back to the first floor, and have to do it all over again. So anything could happen here in terms of switching the leads.
And I believe that was chest number 19. So did we have anyone guess 19? I'm going to have to scroll up here. I don't see a 19, but I do see an 18. So I'm going to give it to Raffle Waddle. I apologize if I mispronounced that. But you look to be the closest one to actually guess 19.
And you know, I think I'm going to give it also to Floatius, because he donated $20 just in time for that.
No, that works for me.
Yeah, perfect. That counts. Wow, that juke there from Walter, like moving the Armos to the top. That was really impressive, actually. Okay, now is the time to hit both of our runners as hard as possible. Alex now starting the section of the dungeon that we call the gauntlet, because he has to kill all these enemies. A death right away for Walter to get rid of that fairy so that he really is in danger is a nice way to start it for him.
Oh, did they... Did you see that just now?
Oh no, what just happened? He's already checked those chests. Didn't he? Did he skip the Hope Room
He
chest?
might have skipped Hope Room. That's pretty impressive.
That's
yeah, he
bizarre.
skipped Hope Room. That was a really weird little graphical glitch that popped up from that death.
Oh no, Walter, the jingle glitch. This is the jingle glitch. He's now realizing it. He died on the same frame that he was walking down the stairs. So all of the enemies are off screen. He can't even hit the crystal switch. But he knows that mirroring will reset that. So that was hilarious timing. Frame perfect.
Oh, and there's a death for Nilsson, but he still had a fairy, so he's still going, but I think that might have been his only fairy.
Yeah, so nice player kill by Rick Says Stuff, it looked like. So yeah, now he's actually vulnerable. So basically, to explain what happened there on Walter's side, there are a host of things you can do, including a door closing or opening on the same frame that you walk up or downstairs. that will cause all of the sprites to be shifted over by several screens to the point where they are no longer rendered or interactable at all. It is a major glitch, so you are forced to restart the game if that happens before you can take advantage of it. So I don't know if Walter didn't realize it until he couldn't flip the crystal switch or what. But I gotta imagine that was the case, because I mean, look, he upheld his gentleman's agreement there in Tile Room.
Yeah. But that was really interesting to see. So Nilson Alex, though, his climb though is working good, but he got the inverted D-pad at the perfect time. That was amazing.
All right, there is a kill player pool on Alex's side that is currently sitting at 1304 out of 4200. Now's the time to contribute if we want to even up the score here a little bit.
That room was a lot harder than Nilson Alex needed it to be.
Oh, we're climbing 3300 out of 4200. Hopefully we're correct and he doesn't have a fairy in a bottle. If you're an Alex fan, you could give him one in order to thwart our efforts here. But I'm, of course, in the kill Alex camp right now.
He also doesn't have the powder, so I think he's on 2 hearts the rest of the way.
All right, looks like the kill player has been crowdfunded, so it should apply soon. Does he have the fairy?
He does! I don't think he knew he had that fairy.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. The look of relief was very real.
And it looks like the crowd also just gave him a fairy as well in a bottle, so they're being kind. Or at least they're being neutral.
Inverted D-pad, Alex walks off the side of the pit.
I did notice Walther pick up at least one more fairy, so I'm pretty sure most of Walther's bottles have fairies in them.
Nice. Alex takes down Moldworm 2. More inverted controls.
Swap the D-pad and the buttons. Don't let Walther get away so easily on this. I mean, he's already through the gauntlet at this point.
Alex not opening up the chest is a little bit surprising to me, because if he were killed, say on Aga, he would have to defeat Moldworm 2 again, which isn't that big of a deal, but we could see that it did take him like a minute and a half to do it with those inverted controls just now.
Oh, this is frightening.
Oh
no.
my god.
Oh no, this could be dangerous.
I don't think I've ever seen a dungeon map this much in a Link to the Past speedrun before.
Meanwhile, Walther is just slowly but surely making the climb. If you wanna do the same things that you've been doing to Alex to Walther, this is the time to hit it.
Oh, really hard for him to hit these this geometry wizard with the inverted controls. Down to 2 hearts, so he's deciding to pop on the cane for just a little bit of extra protection.
Meanwhile, Walther now about to start his Moldorm 2 fight. Let's get some mess on with Walther. I think he needs some inverted buttons and D-pad as well.
Oh, Alex now down to 1-hit KO. If he gets hit by an energy ball, he will die, but he kills Aga 2.
He is thrilled about that. Walter's got to be thinking to himself, how has no one messed with me going up GT?
Is Alex going to drop in with one heart on Ganon, I wonder?
He's got a fairy. I don't see why not.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, that was almost a triple on Walter's side against that first cycle, but those energy balls both collided at the same time, overriding each other.
All right, phase 2 for Alex. With the gold sword, it is 6 hits for phases 1 and 2, and then 4 hits for phase 3, and then 4 silver arrows for phase 4. Meanwhile, Walther about to drop, so this is a very tight race.
Yeah, looking at some crowd-funded items that could mess with Alex here, we have 150 coins towards 2,800 for an Oko, one-hit KO mode, which, I mean, he's basically already in one-hit KO, so if that happened after he died to Ganon, that would be quite good. Walter has swap buttons and D-pad at 1,158 coins out of 3,000. So if you want to clinch the lead here for Alex, enabling that would be pretty good. And also Ice Physics for Walter at 360 coins out of 2,000.
They just took away all of Alex's arrows. He doesn't have any arrows anymore. And he's out of magic, and he didn't realize it, and he doesn't have a bottle.
So he might just chill here and hope that somebody is kind enough to give him some magic, but at least he got the torch glitch. That is huge, that he got the torch glitch before he took away his magic.
Oh, no.
The torch glitch will allow him to only have to light one lamp in order to make Ganon vulnerable. It is possible to defeat Ganon without the silver arrows using a glitch by hitting him right as he warps away, which both of these runners are very comfortable with, but it does require him to have to lamp that torch several times, or light that torch.
And I don't think anyone... So I don't know if Alex has... If Alex has a full thing, he would need to use one of his bottles to actually get a potion.
Walter doing a very dangerous dash into Ganon there, almost got knocked off the edge.
All right, they gave Nelson a little bit of magic. He gets a double in, and that's going to be it.
Oh no, Walter! No!
Takes a fall. Oh no!
Oh man. So what happened there is he happened to hit Ganon like right as he was on top of him. I think he dashed into him there. I didn't quite see, but that meant that he got knocked off the platform. Good game to Alex, showing 157 on the stream there.
GG's to Alex. First place, 157.06. What an ending to this race. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was insanely close. Again, as Walter's friend, I absolutely feel like I have to mention this in front of 3,700 viewers, that Walter has trolled himself harder than the chat has in this race. It's a little bit unfortunate that he wasn't in one-hit KO mode or low enough health when he took that hit, because that actually would have saved him because of the fairy in the bottle. He wouldn't have fallen in the pit. So that was kind of a culmination of a lot of factors there that allowed him to fall in that fight. Yeah, and we are really underestimate for this event for ESA, so I think we actually have time to pull them in here and just talk to them a little bit about their crowd control race. Walter missing the torch glitch. He went for a risky fire rod hit, but he still can defeat the Ganon pretty simply because he has silver arrows. Should be quick.
Missed the triple, unfortunately, but we'll get the last one in, so get your GGs as well in chat for Walter.
All right. And you know what? The on-screen timer said 158.44 when he finished, his timer said 1:56:06 because he did start the game a little bit later. So who's the real winner?
I think chat won and ESA won because we broke 40,000 in this during this. So I think the winner is everyone here.
I'm inclined to agree, gentlemen. Let me just get 2 donations in, and then Nilson Alex is ready to come in for an interview. So, real quick, we've got $5 from Markars with just a smiley face, and $5 from Prudish. So, thank you both very much. And yeah, let's go ahead and get Alex in here for the post-race interview.
Oh.
All right, we have both Nilson Alex and Walther, and GG's to both of you.
Thanks, guys.
I mean, I gotta say, I hope you both watch this back because Alex, the crowd took away your arrows and magic during the Ganon fight. You got the torch glitch, and then you waited, hoping someone was going to be kind enough to give you a couple of arrows and some magic and got it. Meanwhile, Walther, right at the end, you unfortunately took a fall. So, like, kind of talk us through how that ending went, because that was incredible to watch.
I mean, Walter, you can start because you took a fall, so I guess you were ahead. So
I don't know. I kind of memed it up a little bit too much in the end. I tried to go for the blindfolded current strat, but forgot to like cancel my dash and fell again. So I guess that's kind of the current strat as well, to following Ganon. So
shots fired. See, thank you, Walter, for validating, because I was trying to convince chat. They weren't believing me that we're all friends here, so we did like give each other a hard time.
I don't know what to say about the run in general because it was I don't know, because it was crazy, because I had like, I think it was my pod fight, like the Helmet Store fight. I had like one heart going in and I like inverted buttons, and then it was like you mentioned about the Ganon fight. I didn't want to like leave because I was like, chat better give me something good, because you have been like, taking my bombs and like errors the whole time. So I was like, you better give me something good this time around.
Yeah, I definitely had a similar issue in Mr. Meyer. When I went to the back, I was just hoping that someone was gonna be able to give me a bomb and I could use it before it was taken away again.
I guess the Steve was pretty cool that there was like 2 gloves in Hera. I was like, where is my other glove? Because it didn't make sense at all.
Yeah. You're right. Both gloves were in Hera. Talk to me, guys, about like your overall experience with this crowd control, from the deaths to the ice physics. You both had really interesting experiences in the back of Skullwoods.
Oh yeah, in the back of Skullwoods, I think I managed pretty good with ice physics, and then I got killed. I think it was twice. I think it was twice at least, and I was like, I'm going to run out of magic here at the torches, and I have to like restart the room. And it kind of worked out there in the end. But it was very interesting to do having ice physics on Mothula.
I gotta say, Alex, you were saved a couple of times by the Oko timer running out at the exact right moment.
Oh yeah, I was super lucky with that. I kind of cheesed a little bit with the Oko, so I was like playing a little bit safe. But I think it was in pod I died 3 times because I walked into one of those turtles in the beginning, which kind of like, oh yeah, I got the Oko.
Yeah, the death in Ganon's Tower was pretty interesting because it was like the same time I walked down the stairs and it like despawned the entire tower.
Oh no!
And I didn't know that crystal switches apparently despawn as well. So I couldn't go over to the right side until I mirrored again.
That's awful.
It was good timing, though.
The bomb war in Meyer was one of my favorite moments for you, Walter.
Yeah, as soon as I dropped that bomb, the rest of them disappeared.
I think it was
happy I got to drop that as soon as possible.
I think it was when I was going to do Agina's cave. I ran out of bombs right at the wall, and then I flew away to Takarico to buy bombs, and then I got bombs. And when I went back to Agina's cave, my bombs was gone again. So I had to like do that like 2 times, I think. So it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, also the seed overall was kind of weird. Double gloves in Hera, and like once you got the first glove of Hera, you didn't really have a good reason to go back until you get Mitz.
Yeah.
And then Mitz was there, of course.
Like I went up there, got my bow on Uncle, and not Uncle, on an old man, and then went in, got my glove, and then I got my hook shot because I can just, if I had the hook shot right now here in Hera, I could just Hera pot, and we didn't have it, and then it was on Armor's Knights. I was like, well, great, I can finish off. I can finish off Hera at the last dungeon, which never happened. So it was kind of, well, that's fun.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I have to say, Alex, one of the most fun parts for me for the run was watching all your facial expressions, things that happened. It was so hilarious. Walter, though, you were like calm, cool, collect. Like you would get like inverted D-pad, and you would be like doing this crazy. It was like you had practiced it or something.
I mean, he has practiced.
I haven't practiced that much, but I mean, I have to focus, so I can't use any of my limited brain space to like, move my face at that point.
I mean, like honestly, when I got inverted D-pad and buttons, it was on like spots that you don't want to happen, like the torch room in GT, and then you do like the Moldorm fights with like inverted D buttons. It was like, what the heck am I doing here?
I think the worst part of inverted controls is that once they are over, it takes a while for you to like adapt back again.
Yeah, definitely. I made many mistakes because of that.
Yeah, chat saying facial expressions require too many resources, Mr. Destructoid.
That's exactly how it works. I can't do multiple things at once.
Well, I gotta say, it was very fun playing this like crowd control against Walter, because I would say me and Walter have always had like super close matches against each other. So it was like super awesome that we finished this close to each other as well.
Yeah, for sure. There were some technical issues at the beginning, but once we got started, it went on pretty smoothly, I felt like.
Yeah, definitely. It was a little bit sad with the technical difficulties in the beginning, but that happens. A lot of stuff needs to work out as well.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd control can be finicky at times, but I mean, with your guys' help and with chat, doing their part to try to help or mess with you guys, we broke $40,000 during this run, which was incredible.
Damn,
that's amazing. Like I was gonna say like that, like just keep on donating and all that's the good stuff for this amazing event, because we got tomorrow as well, and a lot of cool runs after this one. So keep on donating.
Yeah, it's been a lot of cool runs so far. Definitely a good event.
Yeah, that Zelda pen looks sick. So I'm super happy I donated during this event.
Oh yeah, right. I actually forgot about that part. So
yeah, any final like standout moments for you that like crowd control hitting you that were a lot of fun or maybe not so much fun?
I mean, I guess the most fun part was like I guess I would say Back of Skull Woods, even though it was kind of horrible. But I guess Back of Skull Woods and Pod, doing that dark room in Pod, going up to Helmasaur with all the crazy inverted button stuff. That was like the most fun I've ever done.
Yeah, the Oko, when I went into the dark turtle room in Pod with no lamp, and just like the Oko just hit at the right moment as the turtle was hitting me. Pretty good.
So I guess you and me are like routed the same when we got Dark World.
I'm not sure. I guess I have to look it back later.
You both took similar routes. The big thing that kind of eventually separated you guys and let Nilsson and Alex kind of jump in front is that he did Smith sequence while Walther, you went to Ice Palace after picking up the mitts.
I was thinking about doing Smith sequence, but someone deactivated my flute, and I was like, "Oh, just go Ice Palace."
I think I had my flute deactivated 4 times. So it was like the last time I activated it, it looked like there was like triple ducks.
Yeah.
So it was like, whoa.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, thanks to you guys, Kern and Wallcakes, for doing the commentary for us.
For sure.
Yeah, our pleasure. Anytime that we can give you a hard time, I'm down.
Especially when raising money for such a good cause. This has been an absolute pleasure to be a part of.
Yeah, and of course, shout outs to the ESA crew for letting us do this. And of course, to the amazing shout donating to this wonderful cause. Wouldn't be able to do that, and me and Walter wouldn't be able to do this for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Can only echo that.
All right. Well, Nordic Soy, I think that about wraps it up here for our post-race interview. Back to your buttery voice.
Well, thanks, guys. Just a reminder to everybody that the Master Sword ball pen that we were talking about just a little bit earlier, we're going to keep that open for the next, I believe, 2 games. So you can continue to donate a minimum of $10 to get in on that. I got to say, I want one of those on my desk. That thing is pretty awesome looking. But I just wanted to put a huge thanks to everyone here. To Walther, to Alex. An amazing show put on by both of you. A great run. Thank you so much. Wallcakes and Kern, your commentary is on point as always. So thank you again for everything that you do for us. We're going to take a brief intermission. And when we come back, I think we've got a little something special since we're a little bit ahead of schedule. So hang tight, enjoy the break, and I'll be with you guys once we come back with our next game.